Okay. So yeah, just roll your shoulders, maybe move your neck from side to side. Give yourself a stretch. Maybe you've been writing, maybe you've been chat GPTing. We've all been boot camping today. So this is wonderful. So happy that you're joining us this evening or afternoon if you're on the West Coast, kind of a mid-afternoon break. And we have a lot of our members and participants said, but I'm in England and the Netherlands and it's the middle of the night. So sweet dreams to you all. You get to watch the replay. We will be recording this session. So thrilled that you're here. Hi. Welcome back, Nancy and Kristen. Hey, Gary. Awesome to see you. Okay. So we're going to give everybody about one more minute. If you were on the main session, this music's a little different than Eminem earlier today, right? We're letting ourselves let's just relax a little bit. Yeah, awesome. Those of you in our mastery program, we were together this afternoon post boot camp. So happy you're double dipping with us.
So, Sarah, we can't actually hear the music right now.
Oh my gosh, I'm just sitting here having like a spa
Concert?
experience and on myself. That is so funny. Why don't we try that again?
Okay.
See if you can hear it now.
Ooh, there it goes.
Are we hearing a little bit of
Yeah.
flutes and chimes? And
Beautiful.
that's hilarious. I'm out here zenning out. You're all like, there's no music. Hi, Lauren. So happy you're here. Hi, Joyce. Welcome back, Lorraine, Christina, Tamara. Good to see you, Molly. Right, Brent, Deborah, welcome. All right, so we'll give people one more minute. At 3 minutes after the hour, we're going to go ahead and get started. You are going to want something to write with, ideally write versus type. All right, so you heard like 2 seconds of that spa music, so we might play some more later. But welcome back in. If you just jumped into the boot camp today and are just getting caught up, a special welcome to you. We've got you. You already have the replays in your email. And we send out all the resources, the workbook, and everything again this afternoon. So if you all can check your inboxes. And we're so happy to see you. Yay, Jaleesa's back. Jen's back. So good to see you. All right. So what are we up to tonight? What are we doing? What we're doing is we're going to make a space to dissolve all of the things that are telling you you can't be, do, and have what you came here to be, do, and have. So just kind of let that sit for a minute and feel into, does that resonate for you? Is there a part of you that feels called to your vision, to your next level, to do your book, to be a thought leader? And at the same time, there might be a part of you that is saying, yeah, right. Or here's all the reasons why not, right? So if that's up for you this week or in general, you are not alone because there is a mechanism, a protective mechanism in the amygdala in our brain that anytime we do something that our brain perceives as bigger, newer, different, fill in the blank, it says danger, danger, danger. And it will come at us with everything it's got, in my experience, to show us and scare us into running back into the comfortable and the familiar. And that's okay. It's a part that wants to protect us. The amygdala is here to make sure we survive. It does not care about self-actualization. It does not care about serving the world. It does not care about taking, as Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote in Hamilton, the musical, if you've seen it, taking your shot, bringing forth your big magic. The amygdala cares about one thing, that you don't die today. And it believes that as long as you do nothing different than you've done before, you'll be okay because you're still here, right? That's the way that part of our brain thinks. And it's a very loving, useful part. And we give it so much gratitude for the way it tries to help and serve us. However, when we are called to do something bigger, more, new, different, particularly if that means it might be visible in any way to anyone else on this planet, we're going to get the alarm bells. Like I looked at like the Paris, emergency vehicles, like they're a lot, right? It's going to set off all the alarm bells and just say anything it can. Who do you think you are? Or you don't deserve it? Or, something bad will happen, right? And sometimes we've had bad things happen when we were more visible, or we saw something happen to someone else that we, you know, labeled that way. Does anyone relate? Give me an R in the chat if this is relating to anybody, right? That's why we're doing a whole session on this tonight, because it is so prominent. And this is the thing. This fear, this resistance, this imposter syndrome, this walking ourselves back from the goal is the reason why 93% of people who say they will write a book or be a thought leader or stand on a stage will never do it. That's the reason. Because we're terrified of what will happen if we are seen and visible and contribute and actually show people who we are and what's inside us and the greatness inside us, right? It's just a thing. So the good news, let's take a deep breath. The good news is if you have just a teeny bit of that or a whole big bunch of that, it's because you're having a breakthrough. It's because you are doing something new, bigger, awesome, right? But we get to have help. We get to have support. We get to love our brains and our bodies and our souls and our beings into being more visible, into bringing forth the big magic, into going all the way with our books and everything that goes with that, right? Because left to our own devices, it's just too terrifying. If you were on session 2 yesterday, you might remember that we got into a powerful conversation inspired by you all, inspired by the room, about the idea that the universe, life, God, whatever works with, your beliefs, does not call the qualified, right? It's not like, oh, let me find the people who are already, fully maxed out in their self-actualization and genius and brilliant. And then those are the people will write the books and stand on the stages and make the change and be the change they want to see in the world. Guess what? Life, universe, God, whatever we call it, qualifies the called. And this is something that I have held in my heart for so many years. And maybe some of you, it's, a phrase that you're familiar with. And what does it really mean? It means so wonderfully that the vision, that the desire is the sign that you're worthy, that you're capable, and you will be developed. And this ability in you, your genius, will be pulled forth from you in the process of doing the thing. Right? So it's not like you're supposed to be perfect and have it all together, and then you get called to do the thing. I think this is such a relief, and it's so exciting because it's who we become in the process of writing the best-selling book and launching it and standing on the TEDx stage or attracting the next level of clients or manifesting whatever it is you're going to manifest in your business. That is the journey. So in order to take that journey, I'm going to lead you through a process tonight that I created out of not like, oh, I've read in a book that there's an inner critic. I've heard of such things as fear and resistance. No, this is pulled out of the fiery trenches of, of being in it and realizing I have this crazy juxtaposition of this big vision and this big calling. If you were on this morning, we did our, press release, the big vision, and then having almost everything in me screaming into either ear, no, you can't, you're not good enough, you're not worthy, it won't work, something horrible, right? And so this is a process that those of you that are trained with me, you know it well. And I use it over and over and over and over again because it always creates a shift. It creates a way to not just suppress and ignore those fears and those parts of ourselves, actually lovingly integrate, dissolve, and move ourselves into the frequency, the vision, and empowered place of being able to do what we came here to do, right? You have been called, or you wouldn't be on this. Called to what? Called to bring this book forward, to bring your thought leadership to the world, to make a difference for people, and to be prospered in that. That's what I believe. So you can put B if that's what you believe. Kind of Ted Lasso this thing. We're going to put believe on the top of the screen, okay? If you believe, you're here for a reason. You believe that you're at this boot camp because you have a calling, then we're going to help ourselves not get stuck and not walk it back. Because what happens is we think, "Oh, I'm not good enough because I'm supposed to already be qualified." No, we're going to get qualified in the process. And you would never have the desire if you weren't capable, worthy, and supported. All right. I love it. So we're believing that. All right. This process is fun because you don't have to believe anything. You don't have to think it'll work. It's just going to work. It's going to do its thing on you. And I do recommend, if you can, have a physical pen or pencil and some paper. I think there's lots of studies that we work different parts of the brain when we write versus type. And of course, if you prefer a tablet, and you want to type, of course, rock on, like honor yourself in that. Okay. So, anyone excited to try this out? Just try it out. Those of you that have done this a million times with me, just going to do it again. I use this over and over and over. Every time I hit a wall of fear, resistance, overwhelm, lack, limitation, these are the 4 steps I take. Okay. So it's 4 steps. And again, I like writing it because it's just working on our system a little bit differently. All right. So how it works is, at the top of your paper or top of your screen, if you're typing, you are going to write a statement of the goal that you came to this boot camp to achieve. So you can write best-selling author, like you're here to write a best-selling book and get it, take it all the way to publication. Maybe it's best-selling author and known thought leader. Maybe it's best-selling author and 6-figure coach, best-selling author and renowned speaker, 7-figure CEO, global change maker. You decide. You know what the words are. And just turn within for a minute, take a breath. And I'm just setting a frequency of transformation for us and affirming that each of you receive a breakthrough from doing this exercise. Okay. So put V in the chat when you've got your vision stated at the top of your paper. Okay. Awesome. All right. So I want you to just look at that vision and then tune in on a scale of 1 to 100. How confident, how much do you believe this is a done deal? This is going to happen. Okay. So a 1 is like, it's a total fantasy. No way in anything I can conceive of this could ever happen. And 100 is like, I don't know how, but it's on. It's done. It's happening. This is accomplished, right? There's no right answer. If you're at a lower number, you're just going to have a bigger transformation tonight. So it's all good. Okay. All right. Some of you are really high. I'm going to look at mine because I'm going to do this. I've actually been wanting to do another round of this. And I think I'm kind of like a 50. Okay. So it doesn't matter where we are, 90, 55, 70, because I've got a really big goal. All right. Good. So wherever you are is perfect. If you're already at 100, you're just going to go to, you're going to 10x it. All right. Beautiful. So we're just knowing where we start, and just try to write that down because we'll compare it at the end. Yeah, exactly, Andrew. I get you. I get you. It's like, it's done, but then in the 3-dimensional world, like, how's this all going to work? Okay, beautiful. So let's take a breath. If you feel comfortable closing your eyes, or you can do a soft gaze forward and just sort of taking a breath and just opening up to having a shift. Just saying, I'm, just in your mind, sort of saying, I'm available to have a transformation tonight so that I can do what I came here to do. Okay. Awesome. All right. Now you're gonna, if you're handwriting this, you're gonna make your paper into have basically so that it has 1, 2, 3 columns. Okay. So I just draw like a vertical line down here. So I have 3 columns. I have a column on the left, I have a middle column, and a column on the right. If you're typing this, then you can just use tabs. You can use your tab feature or make a table. Okay. So you're just going to have a place so that you've got a column on the left, a column in the middle, and a column on the right. Okay. Awesome. On the left, this is going to be really, really fun for your gremlins. We are now going to take 3 minutes, and you're going to write down every single reason why your mind says you cannot be, do, or have what you wrote at the top of your page. Okay. This is not the time to be spiritual, evolved, you know, anything. You're just going to let it go. Every mean, limiting, terrifying thought, you get to just let it have its space, okay? We're welcoming it to just go. If anyone doesn't feel clear, ask now before we start. Just give me a wave so I can explain it a little bit better if it wasn't clear. Ready? Okay, we're ready to go. Okay, here we go. 3 minutes. Just let it go. Every reason why a part of you thinks, no way can this happen. Just another minute. Keep going. You're doing great. Let it out. Let it all out. Okay, put a T in the chat if you want a little more time. You're still coming. Shockingly, I could keep going on my list. All right. So if you're good, we can go to the next part. All right. Beautiful. So everybody, really good job. That's the unfun part. I want us to take a deep breath in and then do kind of a lion's breath where you stick your tongue out and go, ah. Okay. If you do yoga, you know, lion's breath, all right? Give it a little shake. Give it a little shake. Um, whoo, did anyone not have any? Anyone not have a single thing? Okay. Yeah, some of you are like, I ran out of room. I know. I filled this whole column. All right. So remember, this is great. If you've got stuff in the left, congratulations, because that's the only thing, what you just wrote down, that's actually in the way of you achieving this. It's not the economy, it's not money, it's not time, it's what's on the left-hand side. Okay? It's our life will not reflect our vision, it will reflect our beliefs. And these are what we wrote down is stemming from some kind of beliefs, subconscious or conscious. Okay. Did anyone have something that surprised them? You can put it in the chat. If there was anything on there, it might be like, no, I hear this 24/7 playing in in the background, right? But if you had something that surprised you, you can put that in the chat. What surprised me this round, I've done this so many times, is that two of mine completely contradict each other, and yet they're both reasons that I can't. I mean, it's pretty funny, right? It's you got to laugh a little bit. Like they're both saying opposite things, and they're both reasons why apparently this can't happen. All right, so it sounds like these are familiar to most of you. Then, if it wasn't a surprise, and we're going to keep breathing. I want you to put your hands on your belly and just breathe into your belly because we're going to start. It's actually starting to dissolve these gremlins just by writing it down. Yeah. Identity confusion, not wanting to appear vain. Yeah, Gary, we get those gremlins that says if you actually have ambition or vision, that somehow that's sometimes we have judgments of ourselves, that that's greedy or it's vain or something. Yeah, absolutely, right? It's actually quite the opposite. You're actually being willing to take a stand, and be visible, right? It's a big deal. So, anyone ready to dissolve these a little more? Like it's a first step to write them. We took a breath, a lion's breath, but we are going to do a little tapping. So Nancy Lynn Ruth is here. Nancy is an absolute tapping guru in her gorgeous MVP clubs where you get to tap. And I always tell everyone, I make the joke, right? Nancy is Yoda and I'm Luke Skywalker. Okay. So Nancy's the real teacher. She's got her ears and I'm the, but I am going to lead us through a little tapping because we want to get out of our intellectual head. We can't intellectualize our way out of the left column. It's not going to work. Okay. So if you've never done emotional freedom technique or tapping, you can't hurt yourself. You can't do it wrong. If you don't want to tap, you can just listen along. And all we're going to do is just tap different points around our hands and upper bodies. And this is a technique that's going to cut the loop between those beliefs having power, and it's going to help us start to reprogram our brain. But you can also just listen, it's completely fine. So, in some parts of this, I'm going to say a statement and you can repeat it out loud. It can be really helpful. And then sometimes you're just going to listen and take it in. All right. And again, you don't need to do this if you don't want to. So, you start on the back of your hand, and we're going to say, even though I have some fears, you're going to say, even though I have some fears, I deeply and completely accept myself. Okay. So even though parts of me don't think this vision can happen, I deeply and completely accept myself. Yeah. So even though parts of this vision feel impossible, I love myself anyway. And I am going to open my mind to see what could be possible. Then we're going to go up here. Nope. 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 Okay. We got to tap out the negative. I'm screwed. Look at this list. I'm completely screwed. Nope. No way it can happen. I know that I can't achieve this because, and now you're just going to kind of read through your list, read the one that's the meanest one, the one that upsets you the most, that feels the most true. I know it can't happen because I just don't have enough time. I know it can happen because my third grade teacher said I was bad at writing. I know it can't happen because my family would freak out if I wrote this book. I know it can't happen because I've tried before and it hasn't worked. Okay. So just tap around some of your list. This is why it can't happen. I know it can't happen because, okay. Just do your worst ones. All right. Now we're going to do, but wait a minute. Wait just a minute. Is it true? Like if I was under oath in a court of law, that there's no way this could happen? Is there no one ever in the history of the world, and this part you can just listen to, no one ever in the history of the world that has ever had the same fears or constrictions that I have that has accomplished something? There's been no one my age or with my background or with my schedule or with my particular abilities or what are called people have labeled disabilities that have ever done this. Is that true? In the history of humanity? Wonder about that. And actually, we see stories all the time of people who do things that seem impossible. People break athletic records. People start businesses in their 80s. People reinvent themselves and take huge leaps forward and change the world. People different than me. People are similar to me. So now I'm getting kind of curious. And if the universe could talk, what it would tell me about my vision is, and I just want you to tap and talk. I'll suggest some things. What the universe would say is, I would never have given you this vision if you couldn't achieve it. I would never, ever have called you to something that I'm not going to help you do. You were destined to write this book. You are destined to make this change in the world. We're going to have so much fun doing this. This is going to be amazing. Okay, so now you're going to say I statements, all right? You can repeat any of these you like or just kind of say them along with me. I am open to letting a miracle happen for me. I am committed to follow my dream. I am ready to bring forth the big magic inside me. I am open to letting myself be supported. I'm open to genius. I'm open to success. I'm open to miracles. Now let's take a breath. Maybe close your eyes and just give yourself a scan. Just notice if you feel the same way you felt before. Notice if you feel any different in your body, your emotions. You can just put in the chat if you notice anything. You don't need to, it'll work anyway. And just keep those deep breaths into your belly going and just feel those now. Imagine almost like a valve is opening and all of those limiting ideas, all of those false beliefs, everything you wrote in column 1 is just starting to dissolve. Feel it like energetic Drano. It's just dissolving them, unclogging, releasing you from every cell of your body, your conscious, subconscious, outer conscious mind. I now affirm that these false ideas are destroyed, uncreated, and destroyed, annihilated in every direction of time, dimension, space, reality, ancestrally and genetically. And we just release with every exhale without anyone in this boot camp having to try. With every exhale, they're just dissolving more. They're in the exhaust pipe, rear view mirror. And just feel all those false ideas. They're all just misunderstandings. And let them be washed away now. Feel white light just going through every cell, your conscious, subconscious, outer conscious mind, and just absolutely just releasing all of this from you. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Yes, energetic Drano. You unclog a drain, we're unclogging us. Okay, great job, everybody. Okay, give each other some love. Give yourself a hug. Say, I'm trying something new. If that was new, you can give yourself a little pat. Stimulates balances the nervous system, regulates the nervous system here. Okay, so we got 2 more columns to do. We're up for it, right? We're starting to let that dissolving. That's going to happen the rest of the boot camp and beyond. That's going to just be dissolving a little more every day. Now, in the middle column, you are going to write down the opposite of what you wrote down in the first column. So I want to do a little demo here. Who has something from column 1 that they can share with us and you feel safe sharing that is a limiting idea or belief that you used to have. I'm saying used to because we just started dissolving it. So just give me a little wave if you feel brave and can share something from your first column just to show what I mean. Great, Joyce. Thank you so much. Unmute.
Yeah, the first thing that came up was that I've had challenges successfully completing things in the past.
Right. Yeah.
So, just that was just a starting.
Beautiful. Thank you. So,
Mhm.
in the past, your mind is going to parade out, right? Remember, when we start to do something new or big, it's going to parade out everything it describes as a failure or a whatever shortcoming on our part. So, thank you so much. You're not alone. Other people are saying with you, Joyce. Okay. So, in the past, you've had problems completing things. Okay. So now in the middle column, Joyce and anybody else, what you're going to do is you're going to poke around for a statement that is sort of the opposite of that, that also feels good to you, Joyce, in a way. Like if it were true, it would feel good. So let's just play Joyce for 1 second and we'll do an example. So Joyce, what would be an example of the opposite of that?
Well,
You don't have to believe it. Just what would be the
yeah,
opposite?
no, even well, truly the opposite is that I've had some incredible successes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, actually, even if my mind says I haven't finished certain things, I've had some incredible successes, and you certainly have, right? So that's one. And then just to give some examples for everybody, with that same limiting idea, we could also say something like, you know what? Up until now, I haven't finished everything I started, and I'm now becoming a phenomenal finisher. I'm becoming a phenomenal finisher. I'm a great follow througher. If anyone read the Mrs. Pigglewiggle books when you were a kid, they had all these fun names. They had like, the follow througher or the whatever. So Joyce, you get to poke around. It sounds like that one felt really good. I saw a reaction energetically in you
Mm.
where it was like, oh, I've actually, okay, I might not have finished everything, but I've had some great successes. I'm a really successful person. Okay. So everybody, do we get it? Like, do you know we get one? So Gary, you put too old. Yep, that one came up on mine, which is so funny because it's like, oh, okay, we're gonna go there. And so then I could say something like, and Gary, you can poke around at one that feels good. It's like, oh, I could say, oh my gosh, the world has been waiting for someone exactly my age to do this exact thing. Or I could just say, I'm at the perfect age to be an expert in this. Or, like Nancy said, I have experience and wisdom that makes me even more credible. Exactly. Right. And so this is perfect. You guys are on a roll. You've got it. Right. So just poke around to get one. And you don't have to believe this at all. You're just going to write. It's almost like someone's going to pay you $1,000 to sit here for 5 minutes and write an opposite statement for everything on each statement on the left. Okay. We're ready to try it. All right, let's go. Let's take 5 minutes and I'll check in with you. And we're just going to write an opposite statement of what you wrote on the left. And keep breathing as you do this. The breath is going to cleanse this out. Okay, how are we doing? Give me a thumbs up or a done in the chat if you were able to do an opposite for your list. If you want more time, you can. Okay, Christina's done. Done, Jen. I love that. Look at that. Powerful reframe, Jen. Yes. From I have been chosen. Okay, beautiful. So let's do a deep breath in and out. Nice. How do you feel writing the middle column? Just do a scan. Check in how you feel emotionally, energetically. Do you feel any different than you did writing column 1? Yeah. Nice. Now we're going to have a little fun with the gremlins. Okay. So over the first column, if you have any space to write, you're going to write G for gremlins. Okay. Just it's like, okay, that's your opinion. And then in the middle column, what you just wrote, you're going to write truth. On the top of that middle column that you just filled out, you're going to write truth. We don't need to be mean to the gremlins and rub it in their face, but we could write lie over the first over the first column, right? It's false. Okay, that's another way you can do column 1. False is column 1, and truth is column 2. You may not all the way connect with it being the truth, but that's what I'm here to hold the torch for you. It is the truth. It is the truth. Okay, now to finish this off, right? Yeah, Gizmo was in the Mogwai form, so we love Gizmo, not the not the gremlins. All right, third column on the right, what you're going to do is imagine that you have a beloved friend. Can you think of someone in your life, a friend, a family who just adore you, believe in them, you think they're amazing, you see their greatness, you know they're capable? Can everyone kind of think of someone that they feel that way about? Okay. Now you're going to pretend that your friend that you love has come to you and has told you all the things in column 1. And she's told you or he's told you or they've told you, you know, this is the problem and I'm too this and I'm not enough this and I don't have this and whatever it is, right? And then you are going to write the solution that you would see for them for each of those things. Okay, so I want to model this one for someone like Joyce did our demo last time. Who's got something you could share? Just you're going to give me something from column 1 and I'm going to do a little demo of what this could look like. I know it's really kind of uncomfortable to ask people to share something from that first column, but anybody feel open to sharing? I'll do one of mine. You all, you know, if you're going to have to hear mine and otherwise, but anyone want to do one? Okay, wait. Andrea, you said in here, um, nothing in the 3D and there are 3D bills. Okay. So that's about like not having the financial resources in 3-dimensional form that you want right now, right? So what would you tell a friend if you knew she was capable like you and you know she was called to this vision like you? Would you sit there and okay, so let's be can we be funny? Andrea, can we play with this a little bit? All right. Can you imagine your friend calling you and saying, I just don't have the funds in the bank right now that I need for all these things? Can you imagine Andrea saying to her, I know you're so fucked. I don't see any hope. I I think you're screwed, girl. I love you, but I think it's not going to happen for you, right? Andrea, would you say that to a friend? No. What would you say to her if you want to unmute or if you don't feel comfortable unmuting, you can write it in the chat. That's fine too. Yeah.
I mean, I believe in you. You're very talented. I mean, I'm hearing that from all my friends. Thank God I'm very like verbally supportive. Like, you have a mission with children and health and education. Like, you have this grand vision. You have the book. You have like everything. It's just like, I don't know if it's like my own energy or shifting things into 3D or the way I'm marketing myself or if that makes sense.
So it does make sense. So what would you say as like an action? You would pump her up with loving, true statements. So I love that. And then what would you suggest to her? Like knowing her skill set is your skill set, her abilities are your abilities, her resources. Would any ideas come to you of like, oh, you could do this and offer this for this amount of money? Like what money making ideas would you have for her?
Mm. I mean, I kind of feel like well, still keeping consistent on social media, that's like the go-to, you know? Um, I'm also playing with Substack a little bit too. So I would suggest to the hypothetical person, writing like blogs on Substack to build a portfolio, social media. Um, my book is in the health realm, so I'm trying to reach out to chiropractic clinics. So that's what I would tell like my friend,
Do you
reaching
hear
out.
this? Do you hear this? So you just gave your friend a 1 month business plan. You're going to reach out to, and if you want to be a crazy person like me and do 100 chiropractic places to, connect with them about your book and the things that you do. I heard you say you would go on social media. Are you able to sell something on social media that people can invest in right now? Okay, so you'd make posts on social media that could bring in people who could, invest with you. And then Substack, because people pay to subscribe to your Substack. Okay, so she just gave you a 3-part plan. Your brilliant, beautiful, beautiful self knows 3 things immediately you could do to generate revenue. Okay, so you're going to write those down. So does everyone get what we're talking about here? So if it's time and your hypothetical friend, right, that you love so much says, I just don't have time, what would you say? You might say, okay, here's what we're going to take off your plate. Here's where you're going to get some help. Here's where you're going to delegate something. Like you come up with solutions for your friend because you love them and you know they're capable and you know they're worthy and you know they're amazing. All right, so let's play this game. In the Monetize Your Book Club, we actually are doing an abundance accelerator right now just to generate revenue for our books and all the things. So those of you that join us for the boot camp, you're going to get to jump into that, and that's where we're really coming up with the strategies and supporting each other in them. But for tonight, right now, you all are going to have solutions. All right, so I want us just to play with this. We're going to take 2 minutes, and I just want you to come up with 1 to 3 solutions that you would give your beloved friend who had the same schedule as you, abilities as you, all the stuff is the same. What would you tell them to do? Okay, here we go. We're going to try it for 3 minutes.
Sarah,
Yeah.
is this for column 3 or separate?
This is column 3. This is
Oh,
what we're
okay.
writing in column 3. Exactly. So these are okay, we want the header. Remember, we have the false, true, and this column is called the solution. We have a solution in our books. Now we're going to give ourselves the solution. All right. We're going to download it. All right. Great question. This is column 3. So just go ahead and write every solution to that first column that you can think of just for fun. Just try it out. Get at least one. take a breath. Just check in. Who got at least one solution? One idea? Yeah. Put a 1 in the chat if you got at least one solution that you would give this beloved friend that you want the absolute best for. Yes. Yeah. You might have gotten more than one. Awesome. Way to go. How does that feel? How does it feel to see if we now look at just columns 2 and 3, the truth and the solution? Yeah, exactly. You didn't even need a solution, Nancy. Sometimes it's a pep talk. Sometimes it's a reframe. It's a mindset shift more than a like I have to do something else or do something different. Great job. Amazing. Amazing. So I want us to, anchor back in because many of the things in that column 1 after coaching people for 20 something years and looking, inward at myself every day, one of the things that is so powerful is that we typically get told something isn't enough or something's too much about us to achieve this thing. We haven't been good with numbers, or we didn't this, or we're too old, or we're too young, or we didn't go to college, or we did and we're too qualified, and we're, like there's all this stuff, there's all the mental shenanigans. And so one of the antidotes that's sort of a universal antidote that I love around this is the idea that you are the perfectly constructed, miraculous leader that the world needs right now to do this exact thing that you're doing. Okay, just imagine this for a second. And the example I think of so much is Diana Nyad, right? Some of you were in North Carolina when I went on that whole thing. We did like a whole 3 days on Diana Nyad. And the reason why her story so imprints on me is because if you don't know, she's a swimmer and she wanted to be the first woman, or she wanted to be the first human to swim without a shark protector from Cuba to Florida. It's this really treacherous swim. There are lethal box jellyfish. There's sharks. Not to mention you have to swim for 3 days or more without any, breaks. You can't stop. You can't get help. You can't stop to eat. She's, eating while she's floating on her back. I mean, it's crazy. Okay. It's crazy. And it took 8 attempts between Diana Nyad in her mid-20s until her early 60s. I believe it was 64 when she finally achieved this goal. And the thing is that for me, and I'm probably going to cry because I get so emotional about her story, is that if she'd done it at 20, it would not have had nearly the impact as it does with her doing it at 64. It wouldn't have had nearly the impact if she did it in 1 try than when she did it in 8. And that's not fun for her, right? It was hard and it was uncomfortable and it was much tougher, but she went to a place that should have been impossible and showed every single one of us. And whatever that thing is that you've told yourself is the weakness, the liability, the problem, maybe you had like a learning disability like I was told, or whatever it is. Whatever that thing is the very reason why you've been chosen. Remember, we're not calling the qualified, we're qualifying the called, and it's because someone needs to see you do it. There is someone or many someones out there that needs to see you with your gender, your background, your age, your education level, your ability level, your whatever it is. And that thing that you think is the thing that's going to make this harder or you're not going to be able to do it is the actual thing that is going to blow everyone's mind and make this change people and follow you in this movement and get the help. And if you were different or been born different or did it sooner or did it whatever, it would not be the miracle that it's going to be. Yeah, even if it's just us that needs to see it, Joyce. Naya wasn't doing it for other people watching. She was just like, I can't be in my 60s and be done. I can't. It'll kill me. That's what was up for her, right? She had to do it because there was more left in her. And she's like, I'm not going out without giving everything I've got. Even if I don't make it from Cuba to Florida, I can't go out without giving it everything I've got. And that's this community. Okay, that's you all that are here. And I hope those of you that are going to continue with us and do your book with the 90-day bestseller and be in the club or one or both of those, this is what we're up to here in this community. We are up to swimming from Cuba to Florida, whatever that is. If it's your book, if it's an income jump that goes with a book, if it's being on stages with your book, if it's helping people with your book, whatever that is, we are Cuba to Florida. That's the era we're in. The world needs people to step up and do the thing that everything in you says you can't do, the thing that's scary. Because most people right now are running and ducking and, as they say in England for my UK friends, duvet diving. And there's no judgment because we want to do it. But you'd never be here right now in the middle of your afternoon or your night, sitting here all week on this boot camp if there wasn't something important. There wasn't something on the line. If you weren't having a Naiad Cuba to Florida moment, you wouldn't. There's too much other stuff to do. Could all just be watching TV, kicking back, but you're here. So I'm just asking in the chat, who's in here with me, Cuba to Florida, okay? See in the chat if you feel something in this, if it's stirring something, if you feel like, we're going to keep coming back to this all week, that it's a calling. Because otherwise it's just so easy to not have enough time and not want to figure out the money and not feel like it's worth it and who cares anyway. It matters. It matters, like Joyce said, to yourself for knowing that you came and did what you came here to do, and then it matters for everyone that gets to see you do it. I love it, Brett. 64, you're in the magic zone. That's right. Cuba to Florida, okay? So that's who Amy and I and Michelle and our team are. We're here to go Cuba to Florida with you. And if you've seen the movie version of Naiad, the amazing film with Jodie Foster and Annette Bening, which I'm obsessed with, right? She didn't do it alone. She had Bonnie, the best friend, on the boat feeding her pasta out of the side of the boat, right? And she had the team and the doctors and some guys on the kayaks whacking the sharks, out of the way to help her, right? So that's us. That's your team. We're going to be on the boat alongside you, giving the nourishment, the cheerleading, the pep talks, the help, the strategies, the crazy shark jellyfish suit, okay? I couldn't do it alone. Most of us can't do it alone. That's why 97%, I was on a podcast today and the guy the host had researched that he said, 97% of people won't write the book. They won't do it because it's too hard to swim from Cuba to Florida. But when you've got Bonnie and the boat and the shark guys and the wetsuit that scares off the scary things, right? We can do it. We can do it whatever age, background, moment we're in. And so I'm so honored to swim with you. Okay. We're going to keep swimming, right? We've got tomorrow, we've got Friday, we've got big things happening tomorrow. So we're going to figure out the time. So if you have a time gremlin, I'm going to hook you up tomorrow. We're going to talk about the craft. So if you have a gremlin that my writing's not good, anyone have either of those? Time or my writing's not good. If that came up in your column one, I got both of those on my column ones, that come up, right? We're going to address both of those tomorrow. And then we're going to talk about monetizing, right? Because it's important. We want to invest. These things they involve investments. How are we going to create the funds for that investment, right? Okay, awesome. So before we end, oh my gosh, we did it. We did it in an hour. All right. Just do a quick scan. Does anyone feel more free, more shifted, more empowered? Just put an E in the chat or a yes if you feel a shift of some kind. It could be a little subtle shift. It could be like a nice big expansion. Yes, tectonic. I love it. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. So I affirm for you, whether you feel it or not, that you're having the shift. Yes, Nancy, you just did. You broke through. You were like in that, I can't do the podcast, and it's happening. You're in massive action. It's amazing. Okay, so last thing before we jump off, and then we're going to do a little dance party because that also shifts the energy. You gave yourself a number at the beginning of the session. Scale of 1 to 100. 1 is there's no way I can achieve this dream. It's a ridiculous fantasy. Why am I even here? And then 100 is like, game on. I don't know how, but this is happening. It is done. All right. Just check and see if your number has shifted. It may or may not. Just see. Okay. I'm going to look at mine. I was at a 50. So let me tune in here. Wow. Okay. Joyce went from an 80 to a 95. Nice. Nice. And even one number up is going to create new things for you. A whole new reality can happen at one number up. Nancy went from 60 to 80. Yeah, I went from 50 to, God, mine went higher than I thought. Mine went 50 to 90. Yeah, the 2% will change your destiny. You better believe it. You can manifest a bestseller off of 1. If you just take the actions as if you believe it, it'll still work. If you do the 90-day bestseller and come in the club, you'll have success. It's just, it's more fun when we when we feel we can breathe a little more and we don't have those gremlins screaming at us. Great shifts, everyone. Awesome. Awesome. We're going to keep the party going. Okay, let me find a really fun song that we can kind of dance out to here. We'll just do a chorus. I want to let everyone get on with your evening or your afternoon. I'm so grateful. Can we give each other some gratitude and some hearts and some high fives and tens and some hugs? Like, thank you. Thank you for the honor of being here. You made tonight special for every one of us. You made a difference. So yeah, we get to honor each other. Okay, so let's do something fun. Let's do, let me find something. Let's do, okay. This will just get us moving. This is for Nancy. We both love this song. Some of you might as well, but it's called Champion. Okay. This is about getting back up. If you get down again. Okay. I'm going to turn it up a little. Amy, you can give me a volume check. I don't want to blast your drum. Good. 2 hands in the air. I'm a champion. You'll be looking up at me when it's over. All right. Whether you know it or not, just get a little. You're a champion, right? We're going to X out that first column. Let's X it out. Ready? X it out. You've been working your whole life. Those gremlins. Here we go. Made for this. Born to win. When they write my story, they're gonna say that we're gonna go through the middle part, okay? Then we're gonna go right. And this is my chance I'm taking. All them old records I'm breaking. All you people watching on the TV, you go ahead and put your bets on me. Here we go. I've been waiting my whole life. We're gonna do the chorus and then Ludacris. Gonna bring it home. Here we go. I might need to stand up. Anyone else want to stand? I might need to move a little more. All right, here comes Ludacris. Bring it home.
The C is for the courage I possess through the drama. H is for the hurt, but it's all for the honor. A is for my attitude, working through the patience. Money comes and goes, the M is for motivation. Gotta stay consistent, the P is the persevere. The I is for integrity, innovative career. The O is optimistic, open and never shut. And the N is necessary, cause I'm never giving up. See, they ask me how I did it, I just did it from the heart. Crushing the competition, been doing it from the start. They say that every champion is all about his principles. Carry.
Take a deep breath. Great job, everyone. Thanks for being with us. We will see you tomorrow at noon. Have a great night, Story Bank.
Oh my
Be
God.
good to yourselves.
Came an hour late. Shit.
I know, Alexandra.
Oh my
It's
God.
all right.
I can't believe I did this mistake again.
It's all
well.
we recorded it. We will beam this out to you. We love you. Mwah. Good night, everyone. Be so good to
Thank you.
yourself.
Sorry.
You got this. We'll see you in
Bye-bye.
tomorrow.